Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be with you today. I am Magdala Ramirez, and today we're going to be talking about the realization of the self and what is going on everywhere in the world. For such a long time, the understanding of the self, it was very much related to how other people look at you. What is that relations that you have with the people around you? What they defined you, what they think of you, and you embrace that, thinking that that was who you are. The truth is that the self, it is very, very beautiful to comprehend. All these identities that you have, that you identify with, it really needs to be revised at this time because the self comes from the self. It doesn't come from the outside. It is really coming from the self. From that truth that you are in such a deep, deep manner. That truth that it has been there for many, many, many lifetimes. And this, and today, it is the time to you to make that realization of the self. It is the one that created you, the one who's speaking deep inside of you. When you go into that deep, deep silence, you will hear this voice, a voice that it is guiding you, a voice that it is very much taking you into a higher understanding of what it means, the self. For such a long time, you identify only with your physical body, thinking that that's who you are and that's what it is. And the truth is that you're much more than your physical body. Your physical body is gonna follow wherever you tell them. It's the physical body. It is only just that. This reminds me so much of this story that I heard long, long time ago. My gosh, I was a teenager. About the Bhagavad Gita. It's talking about what is it and who is the boss. So you have the horses, the carriage, the chauffeur, the one who leads and the one who's inside. And each one of them said, I am the boss. I am that self. And I am going to do whatever it takes to prove you that whatever I am the boss. So the horses are representing your emotions and they say, without me, you're nothing. The carriage is really representing your physical body and said, without me, you're nothing. The chauffeur, the one who's in the top, is saying, well, I'm the one who's directing the whole thing. I am the boss. Without me, you're nothing. There is the one that it is inside of that carriage and says, well, it is all about me. But what is it in the self? And why it is so important to you to embrace who you are and listen. Listen to the one that created you because she's giving you an upgrade of what it means the self. It is true, very true, that the spiritual work and that the work that you do with yourself, revisiting all these old beliefs or all these identities that they put on you, or revisiting all these aspects of yourself that you think that you need to have for any reason, and they are making decisions. It is up to you deep inside to actually make the work. Yet the one that created you, very much it is guiding you. But it is a free will. No one can interfere. It is up to you for how long do you want those kind of experiences. It is up to you to understand that this is the time of the realization of the self. It is up to you to understand yourself in a higher manner. There are many forces that you grew up with. There was a lot of guilt and shame, and there was a lot of I'm not good enough. It was a lot of those kind of energies that immediately put you down. But that has been only an illusion. That has been a big illusion that it just creates those setbacks in the understanding of what it means, the self. When you revisit these old beliefs and you see how these old beliefs you participated, many of those old beliefs, they are completely expired. Maybe some of them, they come from a genetic memory that it was based on fear and separation. Yet here is the sixth era, the sixth world, a new understanding, and it all starts with you. The way that you relate with each other, the way that you relate with the environment, the way that you relate with yourself. And that creates a very, very important thing because everything, it is based on that. What do you believe inside of you? Who do you think you are? And I'm saying this in a good way because whatever it is, that identity that you think that you are, it is really very different of what is happening right now with you. What is it that you do need to embrace and clean that mirror and understanding that it is not about the outside world, but that deep inside, that it is making a revelation to you about this incredible being that you are and that you are so afraid to actually understand. What about if it is an incredible possibility right now of this understanding that you do live in a world of oneness where everything it is so deeply connected, an orchestra that you are part of it, and that your original vibration it is kicking in, and it is that part of this beautiful orchestra. What about if you are able to take your time with you and be with you and heal you? Heal your fears for love. Heal your places that you felt so much about guilt and shame. Fear of understanding yourself in your own greatness. And the fear of being the children of God. The fear of this, I am not good enough, and I'm putting this in quotes, that you think that it was imposed on you and yet you believe it. The moment that you accept such a thing, it really creates an identity. And all your creations will be based on that identity, in that belief system. At the moment that you agree, at the moment that you relate with it in thinking that that's who you are, it really creates a very deep understanding of how you're going to perceive a reality, how are you going to relate with others. What are you hiding? Why you hide from the one that created you? Why you hide and don't want to relate in this deep manner? What are you hiding? And when you think about that, it's gonna take you directly of where it is your work. What's going on with you? What happened? Every time that you make a big discovery about yourself, everything changes. And of course, it creates waves with people around you, with your community. Everything, it needs to go into this readjustment. Once you drop a belief system, your whole vibration changes and adjusts to the new one. And by doing this, everything around you begins to rearrange. And what do you believe into it? Every time that you project yourself and putting your thoughts in someone else, instead of understanding that it is not through your projection how the people are going to believe about themselves. Entrap them, because that creates a trapment just right there. When you can see everyone through that acceptance, with that caring, with that pure love, without the projection, it liberates you. And that liberation, it's a very important thing, because you're not hooked into their karma, making your own karma either. Not identifying with all these situations, it is really liberating, because it is telling you that there is another way. The way of the liberation, and why you're so afraid of. You are free. You have always been free. And this is about the true self. That the one that it doesn't feel free for any reason is the one that it is very afraid of your own being. Is very afraid of who you are. Is very afraid of what other people will think. It is the time to understanding here what and who is the boss. And if you go back into that little story that everyone inside of you proclaims about who is the boss, and understanding that it is a deeper nature within yourself. What is it? Does it is someone that is going to come and liberate you because they make you believe? Or it is through that self that you can liberate yourself, and that is your own realization of the self. Everyone is making this work. Many people everywhere in the world. It is making this work. How do you understand the self? How do you understand yourself? Who is that self that you identify with? What is it deep inside that you feel very alone when you're making your work? Because you're recognizing that only you can make those choices, those decisions. You must realize that it is you in this generation, the one who's making those changes. The evolution of a consciousness, raising your consciousness, everything, it has to do with the self. It is the time for you to revisit and understand this much more deeper. Go to our website, magdalas.com. That is MAGDALAS.com. And subscribe for our free newsletter. And there is a school online that you can be part of it. It will help you to understand that realization of the self. There is, oh my gosh, we have ceremonies, we have many events, and many beautiful things going on. Download Messages from the Great Mother. This is an app in your phone, doesn't matter what kind of phone. It is so beautiful to see that the mother wants you to know that she's always with you. That perfect synchronicity of every event that you have, suddenly you receive a little text that comes from the Great Mother. Well, take your time. Take your time to know yourself. Take your time to let go all these old belief system. From that, it depends your family, your community. From that, it depends everything. From there is where you raise your consciousness. Welcome to the new era. I am you. I am Magdala. Tlatzokomate, tlatzokomate, tlatzokomate.